Well, you're. Do you want to take?
It's 6:01 and we'd like to get the meeting started as soon as possible.
Well, I guess we can. We don't want to. Steve, you want to take?
Good evening. Welcome to the Henry County Commissioners meeting. If you would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a short prayer. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you for the good weather that we've been experiencing. Please help keep us safe, and God bless America. In your name we pray. Amen. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review the minutes?
Motion to approve is presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review the claims?
Motion to approve is presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review the payroll?
Motion to approve is accepted, or as presented, excuse me.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. We have in our notebooks reports. The first report is the clerk's monthly report for August.
Make a motion to approve. Report is presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We also have a report on the weights and measures report, August 16th to September 15th.
Make a motion to approve it as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. We also have a letter from the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, permit number INO 55131.
This is just mainly informational, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve it as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We also have a report, Innovative Technical Solutions Monthly Report for August.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Moving on to the food and beverage claims. The first claim from the food and beverage is for Memorial Park for the large shelter house, SBK Construction, affidavit number 2016-81, invoice number 2032, for a total amount of $31,609.10. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. We also have from the food and beverage claims a claim for the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame for a Holiday Construction Group, invoice number 3699-A11, for a total of $266,234.72. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Just to
Motion
let you guys
passes.
know, Joe, that Hall of Fame is it. They're done. They've used all their money. So that'll be the last claim you
Basketball
get for Hall of
Fame has
Fame.
used all of their food and beverage money, so that'll be the last claim that we receive from them.
That would be the last claim for the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame as far as the food and beverage claims. Thank you.
I think the first department head that's here is Braden. Nothing.
Braden has, I think,
Steve, Tom. I guess we're all the way.
I was gonna say, I was waiting for something, you just let me down.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
we'd like to call on the Memorial Park Board to do a presentation.
I don't know about presentation, but I'll update you.
That'll work.
On the shelter house, I noticed that all of the windows, but one has been installed. The doors aren't installed yet, but I was told that they would be installed probably this week. The bathrooms are all running, all usable. And, except we don't have the, toilet paper holders and the paper towel holders up yet. And everything else looks good. I don't know for sure what all else they've got, because I didn't get to talk to Jim today.
When is the dedication ceremony?
The dedication is October 19th from 9 to 12. And there will be invitations being sent out with more information on. Got any questions other than that? Go ahead.
Unrelated, the, out by 3, the drive that goes into the playground entrance where the hole was,
Mm-hmm.
is that settled in all right after it was filled? Did you know, I haven't been back by there for probably 2 weeks now.
I know that they filled it in. I didn't notice it today when I come out, but I didn't specifically look for that. I'll do that on my way home. See what,
Since I know that we want to give it some time to settle in before we patch over it, but,
okay.
okay.
How's things going with the dredging?
As far as the ponds, right now, we have, as of Monday, we had 52 loads removed, and as of yesterday, 51. Not really clear on what we had today yet, since they're not done. We're working on a design for the bridge, the pedestrian bridge, and we're hoping to have that done by next month so we can get that voted on, so. But that's about all we have right now for the ponds. We're just
So did you say 52 loads Monday?
it was,
51?
52 loads on Monday and 51 on Tuesday. That's, well, any questions on that? That's all I have.
No, I don't have any.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think we're down to Brian True.
Next, we'd like to have Brian True.
Ray?
Hi.
You want to go ahead and talk about the
Yeah, we
rave?
can, and I don't, Troy might want to be a part of this too.
Troy, you might
We've
want to come down as well.
we've been
So we'll
discussing,
make a quick introduction to everybody in
Yeah.
the public. So Troy Jester is our new EMA director. And I'm sorry, it still says Tim Walsh on the itinerary. We'll get that changed. So.
We're saving money on badges. You have to go by Tim.
So welcome, Troy.
so I don't know, a couple months back before Tim left, Motorola, who now owns the Rave Mobile Safety, came out and did a demonstration to Tim and I. This is basically something that would kind of replace Nixle, that we used to have and are no longer using as far as like a mass notification system for the county. They did a demo for us, and then obviously Tim's no longer here, so I had the emails. Got Troy involved in it a little bit this week. I know Troy, and I think you guys as well may want to see some more information on that, another demo. So I did send them an email and they reached out. Kind of just going back and forth with some times now. So it might be something that we're not quite ready to do anything on yet. Maybe do another demo that you guys can see and Troy can see. And I think he's looking into maybe some other options as well, since this, they came to us, but we kind of realized maybe we have a need for something like this. So he's familiar with other things in other counties, so.
Yeah, I think that, that there's some other, products out there. Rave is, I think that's my phone. Rave is definitely a tool that's used in some of the other clients I've been in, or counties I've been in. So I think that's a good tool. But I think that, you know, just to bring me up to speed to see the user side would be beneficial. So, yeah, I think.
Yeah, there was the one thing that I think Motorola, I don't want to say was trying to push was obviously Motorola is our CAD with Spillman and things like that. So they were, you know, they may have some integrations. I'm really not sure what could integrate, but kind of a one company solutions, what they were pushing. There was a 911 portion of this that could tie in different ways. I'm iffy on that. The more I've heard about it, talking to other counties that use it and employees on how useful that could be. That's something I was originally interested in, but if it's not going to do a lot for us, I'm not sure how useful that is. So I think all that is still worth considering and maybe looking at other options. So
Many counties have dumped Mixel though, so I think that's the right path to start with. So that you've done in the past.
Okay, so we weren't just the only one to say, hey, we're not gonna use them anymore.
Way overpriced is what we're hearing out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would like to see a demo of this and any other options that may come. So with that, I'm just gonna make a motion to table this until we get additional information.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Mandy?
Screen's on, right?
Mhm.
All right, I said I would come and do an update. I'm just gonna apologize. I'm not as prepared as I thought I was gonna be because I've been looking at the computer all day. Billings pretty much coming in on time now. We still have quite a bit of money out there, but most of it's getting adjusted, written off. I haven't seen anything come in from balance billing, but I've had a few phone calls about balance billing. Just honest with them. See, we got a pretty good deposit yesterday, which it's good to see. We get a monthly deposit from MediCount now instead of where ambulance billing would say weekly, everything they got. Anything that goes directly to MediCount, they put in a holding account and they send it once a month. I got the notice of that yesterday. I don't know if you've received it in yet, if she has it yet. Hadn't hit the bank yet, which usually it comes about 3 days after they notify me, and it's gonna be 42,000, which should take us back up over 100,000. Quite a bit, actually. So, which is where we wanted to be.
It's been a
Working on
long-
CSR, DEA licenses so that we can have narcotics, working on getting the safes put in and electronics we have to have for that. While also transferring medical directors to Dr. Combs, because Kay Grace has had a family, some things come up and she is backing out. Combs is coming in, which he's good. He's a former Army medic. He's actually still in the reserves. Just got back from training from that. And he's out here about 70% of the time, where Kakeris 1 or 2 shifts a month was out there. Majority of his shifts are out there. Had some good meetings with Henry County Hospital. They're on board. They're helping us now, helping us with the DEA stuff and the CSR stuff, as well as Brian from the city. I observed theirs was very helpful. And we will be purchasing our pharmaceuticals through Henry County Hospital. We're working with their pharmacy department. And then they are assigning us Alaris pumps and channels, which are IVs, which is going to save us about 50 grand in equipment. I've locked in a good price with Stryker to purchase the other ALS equipment. I'm going to lock it in and come back in October. We have about 4 grants out to cover that equipment. We'll see what happens with that. If not, we have had them put it on a 7-payment plan, which is more than affordable for us to handle. So right now, it's just a lot of gathering signatures, putting safes in place, locks, cameras, which is all stuff we have. There's not a big expense in that. It's just a matter of turning it inwards and starting the subscriptions for DEA and CSRs. When you have narcotics on premises and you're going to give them, it's what I've been doing all week. So there's a lot to it. I'm almost through it. I'm gonna get the medical director's signature, and I did meet the person that will be doing our audit for that and coming in. He was very nice. They were very helpful. Wrote down all the things, and we're gonna have it in place. So actually, it's pretty excited. I'm actually pretty excited. Changing the medical director and his change in vision. And so we're right there, some signatures and an order from the, hospital. And we're ready to go. So it took what, about 6 months for us to finally go, okay, we're back.
So you should start being able to do ALS transports out of the hospital within 6, 8
Well, I
weeks?
got to rely on other people to come back to us with those actual documents.
Okay,
So
got it.
I would be, if I could literally get a signature and go boom, couple weeks, but it won't be like that. So we have to get on their schedule. They have to come inspect. When we get the CSR, which is a state level to have narcotics, you get that number, then you apply for DEA, which is the federal level for narcotics. And I also have to get with Joel, which I'm sure Brian already has, what he did. I have to get with you and do the same thing. So there's still steps. It's a very long process, but once it's done, it's done. That is the only time I've said, man, I really wish I would have known a little bit more back in October 2020 when you called ALS and they dropped all of that, because wow, it is so much harder now.
Yeah.
So much harder. And the security there's so much more, but rightfully so. It has to be that way. So we're willing to make it happen.
Sounds like it's all positive. Or at least you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I borrowed anything that comes out of the blue. I even found a check in my drawer today. I was like, what? What's happening? Do what? Sorry. It's gone.
Did you say you've applied for grants?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, we have to have that paperwork. We have none. You need a grant number and
We
we have
got
to have
6,
all the
remember?
paperwork.
We got 6 grant numbers. Do you
when
remember
she
that
came
day?
for those grant numbers?
Nope.
Okay.
That day I came in with all this stuff and we got
I don't know who gave them to you. Okay, I'll go look.
it was in here in a meeting.
And we gave you grant numbers in here?
We don't do
I
it.
asked
We
for
don't do them in here. We had to go through
Shit.
we need all the documentation. We have to have all the documentation in our office. When you apply for a grant, you have to
I
send it
think
to
you
us.
have it.
We have one.
I only know of one that I know of.
Okay, we'll go back and look, but
Yeah.
that's the only one I know of.
Yep, I believe there was 6. We got 1 back out of those 6 that we were going to apply for. Couldn't get to the other ones before they timed out. And then, so we just still have those. Before each grant, I can't use the ones that okay, see, I missed that part. I think there's only 1 that's an actual, no, there's 2. There's 2 I'll have to come to you for then.
Because when they come in and audit them, they'll look to make sure we have the paperwork from the very beginning of the application, to the very end when it's paid out. So
Okay,
we
well, I
have to have all
literally
that.
so we're not that far in, so I'll just bring it to you. Right. I thought that meant I got those numbers that day. My bad. She's been asking me, so it's not, she's like, you got numbers? I was like, yeah, remember that day I came, I got 6. How many do I need? Okay, Bobby, no.
That's okay.
No, just for clarification, apparently no, because I missed
did
that
a-
whole
I
part
did
of
a-
that.
yeah.
I thought me saying and then everybody saying, yep, you can apply for those. That
Yeah. That's all right. We'll get it figured out.
Anyways, any questions or anything about what we're doing, or? It's a good update, right? Not asking for anything, should be able to pay the council back their part of whatever after the raises they get owed to them, and
I think you're moving forward.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Next, we have some quotes and proposals. The first one is from,
Hang on. Troy, did you have anything? Do you have anything? Yeah. So I need you to come down to the. Mhm.
So I just wanted to let the committee know, the commissioners know, LAPC exercise, so the local emergency planning committee exercise is scheduled for September 25th, from 1 to 4 o'clock. So you all are invited. Any of the department heads are also invited to, partake and participate in that exercise. It is an annual exercise that involves a chemical release, into the environment. It's required, through Sarah Title III. So we'll be down at RENT, the community room, from 1 to 4 again on September 25th. So that's all I have.
We are all at conference on the 25th. Otherwise, I know at least I would be there, but we are at ASC conference next week.
Thank you. Now we'll look at the quote from Piney Engineering for a leak check chiller circuit, quote number 240410 for a total of $3,083. The scope of work is to pull out all refrigerant in circuit 2 and recovery tanks to be reused after leak is found, put system under nitrogen charge, leak check system, leave a holding charge of nitrogen on system.
So this quote was given to me a couple months back from Piney. And it's because the system is being used through the summer, they're like, let's do this closer to the fall, and in September. And this is the chiller that we periodically have problems with, so they're leak checking it because they do have to add refrigerant to it quite often. So with that, I'll make the motion to approve.
Are you waiting on me?
Either
Motion's
gets a
been
second
made.
It either gets a second or it dies.
Well, I was just questioning what the additional cost may be, but okay, I'll second it.
Motion's been made. Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Next, we have a quote from Skinder.
We do have Jamie, and Jamie, can you and Brian hear us in Zoom?
Yes, we can.
Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna let whoever, Jamie, you or Brian, either one who want to go over exactly what this proposal is about.
Sure. Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to present. As previously discussed, this is for Henry County Building Renovations Owner Services proposal to represent the county, work with the design team to oversee the bidding, design, and ultimately construction of the project. Proposed duration, excuse me, of 16 to 17 months, commencing immediately upon approval. Understanding that the county wants to get this to public notice as fast as possible. So have previously reviewed the details on the scope of work, level of effort on the resource loaded work plan. Open to any questions that anyone would have on it.
So Jamie and Brian had both presented this to us in a work session a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if the commissioners have other commissioners have any questions regarding this proposal for the owner's representation. You know, when we built the jail, we did not hire an owner's rep, and while and I don't know, Steve, if you will agree or not, we made it through, but there was a lot of meetings and a lot of things that were probably a little bit outside of our comfort zones.
I think the presentation that we had from Skinder was very well accepted, and I believe we're ready to move forward on this if there's a motion.
So the budgeted amount is $220,300, and Brian, you can, speak on this. This is just a top-end budget. Anything that's not, spent will be returned back to.
Correct. That is correct, Commissioner. Anything unspent, this is a budgeted based on understanding of the scope of the work, the schedule of the work. We would submit invoices monthly for approval and processing. At the end of the project, any savings to the overall would be returned to the county.
And that, it will not go above the $220,300.
Correct.
I will make the motion to approve the owner's rep proposal from Skinder for $220,300. And Joel, it's my understanding, since we've got the ARP, we don't need to go through the process of reappropriating.
Correct, yeah. ARP funds have already been allocated to the improvement of buildings, and this is services ancillary to that, so I'm fine.
Okay.
You know, I hate spending this much money, but I'll second the
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Thank you to Brian and Jamie.
Brian or Jamie, we'll get this signed and we'll get this to you tomorrow.
Okay, we will begin engaging with TLZ immediately, understanding the county's preferred timeline here.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next proposal is from Automated Logic Plan Service Agreement from January 1st of 2025 to December 31st, 2025 for $6,894. Plan service agreement with Automated Logic.
So this is for all of the fire suppression, monitoring alarms. I think we've had Automated Logics. I know the 4 years that Steve and I have been here, but this is their annual contract, maintenance contract. Does anybody have any questions on it?
You,
I'll make a motion to approve for
Second.
$6,894.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Now we have a security automation system.
This is to add security cameras while we have them all through the Justice Center, we don't have them currently in the lobbies of any of the judges' offices in the reception area. So that will put them in there. I also believe in probation and the prosecutor's office in their lobbies as well. Because if somebody goes up and into the reception area, then security loses focus, loses sight of them. So this is the estimate to put those cameras in as well. I think we've talked about this before. We also talked about it at budget time as well.
Security automation systems for $3,975. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Under new business, we have a burn ban.
Yeah, so on September the 12th, the commissioners instituted a burn ban, countywide burn ban. Hopefully, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, we're supposed to get rain. So hopefully is it when? Oh, just Monday and Tuesday? Hopefully we get rain, but the burn ban is countywide, and it includes, because we've been getting a lot of questions of, does it include burning trash or fire pit, campfire, bonfire? It includes all open burning. So hopefully we won't have to have it very long, much longer. It's just very dry out there.
So we've already instituted the burn ban.
Mhm.
It's not necessary for us to vote on that.
No, it's just.
Then next we have a memorandum of understanding. The Henry County Board of Commissioners and Healthy Communities. This memorandum of understanding is in regards to the Healthy Communities trails. And this has been approved by Joel.
I drafted, I think the last meeting is what,
Drains.
yeah, affects drains, what to do, I have the clause require something, it's contact consultant surveyor. Prior to your regulating drain, or replacing all the pipe ditch, here drain.
Also, after looking this over, I have a couple more questions that I'd like to discuss with Joel at a later date. So I'd like to make a motion that we table this temporarily until we get those questions answered and some clarification on the writing.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We'll table the memorandum of understanding with the Healthy Communities at this time. Under old business, we have an opioid committee. We're just asking for the discussion of the opioid committee.
So a couple months ago, and I think I brought it up and it was just kind of brought up and tabled. With the more people coming to us for requests for opioid, I think it would, and I've talked to Angela Cox about this, that it would be a good idea that she form a 3 to 5 person committee that they can review and vet all projects that are coming, asking for opioid monies, because she can get other people onto, whether it's mental health, other industries on the committee to review these. And then they would make a recommendation to us as the commissioners as to whether or not the project, or at least give recommendations regarding the projects and vet them out. And she is willing to take that on.
There needs to be a lot of stipulations with the committee
Absolutely.
because
This is just
we
the
just
beginning.
filled the report out.
Right.
We have a report that fill out, but the disbarment and suspension has to be done. All these reports have to be
And-
filled
and all
out
that
before
can be
any
done-
money is even
Oh,
awarded to them.
absolutely. This is just a discussion start.
Okay.
This is not, nothing has been set in
Okay.
stone. This is
We
just
just-
hey, why don't we set a committee? And then during that process, we can get all that figured out.
Because
Yeah.
we just had to do the report and we had no idea it was an intense report.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And that's why I think it needs to be streamlined better than people coming to just to the commissioners and saying, we want money. And then us looking at it and trying to figure out if this is a good project. She can bring in other, whether it's mental health, drug addiction, other entities to say, hey, this is a great project, this is warranted, maybe we need to look here. But yes, all of that stuff needs to be set up. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. So where are you guys at in this?
Oh, I have agreed that Angela plays a pivotal part in this whole thing and has from the beginning. And I would agree that we should have a go-to committee
Absolutely.
for the opioid money.
Well, say I like the idea of somebody else going through and doing some of this vetting process, because sometimes when it's presented to us last minute on the spur, we're trying to decide whether it's good or bad or indifferent. And I think this gives us a little breathing room to figure out when somebody brings something to us, make that decision. So I'm all in favor of having a committee.
So with that, I'll make the motion to start that process, and working with the auditor's office in whatever process they need, for this committee as well.
I will second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
There is no public. Oh, Sheila, yeah, I guess you're public.
We have no further business to attend to.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.